So let's keep it going. Let's hear it for Paul Murphy.
Thanks very much. Like everybody else here, I'm sure my social media feed every morning, every hour that I look at it is just filled with what should be unimaginable horror. But one particular thing struck me this morning. There was a status update by a doctor in Al Nasser Children's Hospital in Gaza. And he wrote, "We said goodbye to the children, left them on the equipment as we all left the hospital under the Israeli soldiers' threats. There are more than 150 children in the hospital who were left to their fate, and there are no staff left in the hospital." It's not enough for Israel to bomb hospitals from the sky, but they surrounded a children's hospital with tanks. The soldiers went in and they told the staff, at threat of being shot, you have to leave. They're murderers. They are killing children consciously, openly, brazenly in front of the entire world. They're bombing hospital after hospital. They're bombing apartment block after apartment block. They're bombing ambulances. They're bombing refugee convoys. They're bombing fishing boats. And they are doing it all, let's be clear, with the support of Genocide Joe in the US, with the support of Britain, with the support of the majority of the European Union. And it reveals the brutal, inhuman logic of this disgusting capitalist system that we have, where they are perfectly okay. They are okay with children being murdered if it serves their interests, because it means their regime, their ally in the region, Israel, gets to sustain itself. It's why I think we need to fight against a world based on imperialism, a world based on capitalism, for a human world, a socialist world where people's needs come first. But all of that horror, all of that killing of children, all of that killing of innocent people, it's called something else in the media, it's called something else by the world's politicians. It's called the right of Israel to defend itself. And we know what the right of an apartheid state to defend itself looks like now. But we should ask the question, when do the Palestinians get the right to defend themselves? When does Ursula von der Leyen or Joe Biden or Sunak or whoever arrive in Gaza, arrive in the West Bank and say the Palestinian people have the right to defend themselves? Is 75 years of ethnic cleansing, of displacement, of apartheid enough? Is 17 years of a brutal blockade and siege of Gaza enough? Is 10,000 people, more than that, killed in a month enough? And we all know that it's not enough. There is never a time that it will be enough, because Israel serves their interests. But it is vital that those of us who stand to support the Palestinians say that they have the right to resist. They have the right to rise up against occupation, not targeting civilians, but mass popular resistance, including armed resistance against the Israeli Defense Forces. And those of us outside Palestine not only have a right, but we have a duty to do absolutely everything we can to stop the genocide. There's an old slogan of the Palestinian left which says the road to Jerusalem begins in Cairo, Damascus and Amman. Right now, as the bombs rain down on Gaza, that road also begins in Dublin. It begins in Belfast It begins in London and it begins in the other cities across the world right now where millions of people are mobilising. In the face of repression like we're seeing in Britain, millions of people are coming out globally. People are fighting for peace, are fighting for justice, are fighting for liberation for Palestine while their leaders fund the Israeli genocide.
Shame on you!
And that's why we need tens of thousands on the streets in Dublin in a national demonstration next week. Every single one of us needs to do whatever we can, give out leaflets, talk to our friends, send WhatsApp messages, spread the word that this is the big one. Next Saturday we need to have 10,000 on the streets. We need to have local boycott actions. Like in Derry, they said outside O'Neill's, we're going to have a protest outside O'Neill's if you don't stop stocking Puma products who are complicit in the apartheid regime and the occupation. And the result of that was O'Neill said in Derry, we're not going to stock and sell Puma anymore. Great. And so now we have to say to O'Neill's across the island, well, don't stock Puma anymore anywhere in this country. Just to finish with a message to the Irish government. In the face of genocide taking place in full view of the world, a few hinted words of criticism are not enough. They're nowhere near enough. We need action to isolate Israel, to apply pressure on them to stop and show real solidarity with the Palestinian people. The Irish government must bring a case, as they did against Russia, bring a case against Israel in the International Criminal Court. They have the power to do it. They must use that power. We need to stop the use of Shannon Airport by the US military. We need economic sanctions against Israel. And we need to kick the Israeli ambassador out. They don't want to do any of those things because they want to continue to be a nice, friendly ally of Genocide Joe and US imperialism. So we have to make them do it. So we really need thousands of people outside the Dáil, surrounding the Dáil on Wednesday at 6 p.m. saying you have to vote to expel the ambassador.
Yes.
Israeli ambassador! Israeli ambassador! Israeli ambassador! See you at the Dáil, 6 p.m. on Wednesday.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much.
Free Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Occupation no more!
Occupation no more!
Occupation no more!
Occupation no more!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Thank you. Thank you.